Let's be honest. The word budget makes most of us feel a little sick. It brings up feelings of restriction, of spreadsheets, of being told no. It feels like a financial diet. And what happens with most diets? They fail. We stick with them for a week, maybe two, before we get frustrated, give up, and go right back to our old habits. This is the budgeting paradox. The very tool that's meant to give us financial freedom ends up feeling like a prison. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is the budget itself? What if there was a system that wasn't about restriction, but about intention? A simple, flexible framework that tells you exactly where your money should go, and gives you permission to spend guilt-free. That system is called the 50/30/20 rule. And it is, without a doubt, the most sustainable and effective budgeting framework for the modern world. Today, we are going to do a deep dive into this simple but life-changing rule. We'll cover how to calculate your numbers, how to categorize your spending, and how to automate the entire process so it runs effortlessly in the background. This is budgeting reimagined. Let's begin. Before we get into the numbers, we need to address the real reason budgets fail: psychology. We think of a budget as a list of things we can't do. This approach is built on willpower and shame. And willpower is like a muscle, it gets tired. You can only say no so many times before you get exhausted and give in. A successful budget isn't about restriction. It's about intention. It's about consciously deciding what's important to you and directing your money there on purpose. It's a powerful shift from "I can't afford that" to "I'm choosing to spend my money on something else that's more important to me." The 50/30/20 rule is designed around this principle. It gives you a specific budget for fun. It gives you permission to spend on your wants, guilt-free, because you know your needs and your future are already taken care of. Once you adopt this mindset of intentional spending rather than forced restriction, the entire process becomes empowering instead of draining. Okay, mindset reset. Let's get practical. Implementing this system is a simple, three-step process. Step 1. Calculate your 50/30/20 numbers. First, you need your baseline. Look at your pay stub and find your take-home pay, the amount that actually hits your bank account after all taxes and deductions. Let's use a clear example. Let's say your monthly after-tax income is $4,000. Now, we do the simple math. 50% for needs, $4,000 times 0.50 is $2,000. This is your absolute maximum for essential expenses. 30% for wants, $4,000 times 0.30 is $1,200. This is your guilt-free lifestyle and fun money for the month. 20% for savings and debt, $4,000 times 0.20 is $800. This is the money you will use to build your future. Write these three numbers down. This is your new financial map. This is your target. Step 2, the 30-day audit. Now, we need to see where your money is actually going. This is the moment of truth. Log into your online banking and credit card accounts. Download your statements for the last 30 days. Now, go through every single transaction, line by line, and assign it to one of our three buckets: needs, wants, or savings. Let's clarify the categories. Needs are survival expenses: rent/mortgage, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments, essential groceries, and transportation to work. Wants are everything else that makes life enjoyable: restaurants, coffee shops, shopping, hobbies, vacations, streaming subscriptions, gym memberships. Savings is money you've moved to a savings account, invested in a retirement account, or used to pay extra on a debt beyond the minimum payment. Once you've categorized everything, add up the totals. Now you have two sets of numbers: your target 50/30/20 goals, and your actual spending reality. This is your moment of clarity. Maybe you see your needs are at 60%, and your wants are at 35%, leaving only 5% for savings. Now you know exactly where the problem is. The goal here is not to feel shame. It's to gather data. You are now a financial scientist, and you have the data you need to make informed decisions. Step 3, automate your system. This is the final and most crucial step. This is how you make the budget stick. You put it on autopilot. The first and most important rule of automation is to pay yourself first. Treat your savings like your most important bill. Log into your bank account and set up an automatic transfer. For the day after your payday, schedule a recurring transfer of your 20% savings amount from your checking account to a separate savings or investment account. This ensures your future is taken care of before you have a chance to spend the money. Out of sight, out of mind. Next, automate as many of your needs as possible. Set up autopay for your rent, your car payment, your utilities, your insurance. What's left in your checking account after your savings and needs are automatically handled is your guilt-free spending money for your wants. You can spend it however you like, without stress, because you know the important things are covered. Let's address some of the most common questions and tricky situations. Question 1. What if my needs are way more than 50%? This is a very common problem, especially in high cost of living areas. It's a major red flag that you might be house poor or car poor. The long-term solution requires big, tough decisions like getting a roommate, moving to a cheaper area, or selling an expensive car with a high payment. In the short term, it means your wants category must shrink dramatically to compensate. Question 2. What about irregular income? I'm a freelancer/gig worker. This is a great question. The best approach is to create 2 bank accounts. All of your income goes into account A, your income account. Then, on the first of every month, you pay yourself a fixed, consistent salary from account A into account B, your operating account. You then base your 50/30/20 budget on that consistent salary. This smooths out the volatile income. Question 3. What if I have a lot of high-interest credit card debt? If you have debt with an interest rate above 8%, that debt is a financial emergency. The guaranteed return you get from paying it off is higher than any investment. In this case, you should allocate your entire 20% savings bucket, and potentially a large portion of your 30% wants bucket, to aggressively paying down that debt until it's gone. This is called the debt avalanche or debt snowball method. Question 4. What about unexpected expenses, like a car repair? This is exactly why you have an emergency fund. Your emergency fund is separate from this budget. When an unexpected need arises, you pay for it from your emergency fund. Then, you use your 20% savings bucket to replenish the emergency fund before you go back to investing for other goals. Question 5. Is the 50/30/20 rule a strict law? No. It is a flexible framework. The most important part is the 20% savings rate. If you can live on less and want to save 30%, 40%, or even 50% to achieve financial independence faster, that's incredible. The key is to be intentional and have a plan, and this rule is the best starting point for creating that plan. Uplifting, empowering music fades back in. You now have a complete blueprint for a budget that actually works. A system built on intention, not restriction. A plan that covers your needs, provides for your wants, and builds your future, all at the same time. This isn't about complex spreadsheets or financial wizardry. It's about 3 simple buckets and the discipline of automation. This is how you take back control of your financial life. Your action item is simple. Just do step 1. Tonight, look at your take-home pay and calculate your 50/30/20 numbers. Find out what your financial map is supposed to look like. Knowledge is the first step to control. If this guide has given you the clarity and confidence to build your budget, please hit the like button. It's the best way to help this video reach and empower more people, and to continue your journey to financial mastery. Make sure you are subscribed and have the notification bell on. Finally, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me which of the 3 buckets, needs, wants, or savings, is the biggest challenge for you right now. Let's support each other in this process. Thank you for your time.